So we were working Shelby. We had not the success that we'd want to have, which is, well, in a new circumstance, which is her buddy walking around and then 2 new dogs. So I don't really want to reward her by letting her play with her friend. I also don't want to punish her, but we might as well work on something that's low key right now, and then we'll go back to that exercise later on tonight and get it going again. Try to set up the same circumstances. And while I'm doing that, I might as well put Shana to a little bit of work too. And then after this, what I usually do, if I've had a training session where the dog doesn't really deserve a reward, I want them to understand that those come when we get a successful performance, and the scale for that isn't really huge. So I try to keep it reasonable. I understand why it was hard for Shelby to do today. So I don't want to punish her either, but like I said, so I could either put her in a crate, or I could take this opportunity to do a long half-hour place with her while I work my other dog, if that's possible. We'll see if that's possible, first of all. She's done half-an-hour places before, but not necessarily when Shana's been around working with me, for instance. So anytime you change something up, that's what can happen. Shelby will be dragging her leash and collar just in case she panics or she thinks about doing something I don't expect her to. I can get her. And so stay on the place has 3 parts. Right now I'm just going to work one of the parts. It's a longer part. It's also a good prelude to the stay, or in addition to doing the stay. Shelby, come on, you little... Oop. Let's make sure we still have this on the where we're going to put the place. Come on, Shelby. Shelby. Shelby, place. No, good. No. No, she has a foot on. Up. Good. Good place. We're all going to do exciting stuff later on, but for right now, I want Shelby to do her place, and Shana's, as I might have mentioned, reactive and aggressive towards other dogs. She does better far away. She does better when she's in motion. She has a harder time closer up and tethered to me on a short line. I have a modified exercise for Shana for this that I sometimes do. But right now I think I'm just going to set her up for a place. And don't you worry, Shana's going to get plenty of activity, as is Shelby later on today. So I want to watch my show. Shana, what's up? So I could wait for Shana to go down, but I've kind of advanced it beyond that for her.
I don't want anybody, just listen to me for a minute. I don't want anybody to get hurt, and I've got a feeling that what you want is the cops to come in.
There's Shelby on her place. There's Sally walking around.
When he cut off the conversation, didn't
Boris,
talk anymore about the specifics of what he was mad about. That's when I realized that he had
want to do this with them until 2:15, half an hour.
Everyone in the room and in the building was riveted to the television. It was deathly quiet. People holding hands, people squeezing shoulders, but nobody talking at all. Just a sense of dread and disbelief at what we. Started coming into that room one right after.
Gang violence or even just there was takeaway from that.
No, shade it down.
Back to singing again. I worked on my
Good
fifth
girl.
album, I'm writing the sixth album now.
So Shelby making friends
Speaking in schools, you know.
within the first week is good. That's not really our goal in training, but
Especially
shows us that she likes dogs. We've also seen her problems with dogs.
bad, outright bad kids, as they say.
Up, shade it down. Place.
And man, I'm telling you, I've seen a lot of lives change over the years since I've been doing it. It actually is working.
Good girl.
It wasn't a bad person,
Here's where the modification comes in, because she stayed there, was a good girl for me, even when Sally was coming over. Shana knows Sally, but she's used to bossing Sally around. Or she wants to boss Sally around, I don't know. Sally!
Totally disagree.
Sally,
I
pretty
know
good.
myself from my experience, from what I felt, what I believed, what I saw. One thing I do believe, if you live by the sword, you're going to die by the same sword that you're living by.
So normally in Sit on the Dog, you're not telling your dog to do anything, and you're not feeding them. Me and Shana did that for quite a while, and this seems to help more, although we couldn't get to this place until we had done the traditional Sit on the Dog. So in the olden days, Shane would be barking and whining and lunging. I certainly wouldn't be able to do it in a chair with wheels on unless I felt like being dragged down the stairs.
There was no cavalry coming right away. It was basically, okay, I'm in.
I see they got pointing a gun at the superintendent, and I said to myself, oh God, here we go.
See what got glooming on the place over there? Shelby's feeling pretty comfortable right now. And when I'm doing the place, I try to pretend that I'm not paying attention to the dog or sit on the dog. Because if you're hyper-focused on them right now, then they know that, then when later on you can relax and you go to relax, your when your dog gets
Just
up.
a fun day. It was just a regular flowing meeting. There wasn't anything controversial that I could think of was going to be on the agenda. There was something about
Shelby's starting to act like an actual dog right now.
that I really didn't think would be a hot topic about the lice, and that was one of the hot topics we dealt with.
One of the board members had talked about concern for head lice, and that led us very quickly into some of the really bad jokes about picking nits, which led us into, well, that was a nitpicking comment. And this fellow comes walking down the left side of the room as if he wants to address the board. And I'm thinking, well, that's odd. We didn't ask for anyone to address the board. And at that point, he comes to the podium and begins to say some things to the board that indicated very quickly that he was not there to sing Kumbaya.
And he turned his back to us and started spray painting on the wall. And my thought right away was, Mike Jones has put this guy up to this, and it's got something to do with school security or safety or something, and vandalism, because he was painting on the wall. And I thought, first of all, I was mad because Mike didn't tell me he was doing this.
Good play, Shelby. So throw that out there as a reminder of what she's doing. Sally, can you cut it out, Sally?
That he was very,
Shana,
very
leave her. Good girl.
He turned around and he painted
Good Shelby, good girl.
D. I'm thinking he is in so much trouble because we have budget cuts and we're gonna have to replace
Sally.
that split second. Then he
Honey.
turned around and he pulled out the gun.
Good girl.
He tells the people in the audience to leave. Then he turns around and he's now using his gun as a pointer. There are the board members male, there is maybe the female board member, and then there is the female superintendent. He points the gun at her and says, "Get out of here."
Leave her.
Leave.
Leave her.
6 minutes.
Seriously, Boris? Seriously? Sometimes if Boris reacts like that, he'll get Shana to react, and vice versa. Sometimes, if Shana's very nervous, Boris knows Sally's not going to do anything to Shana. But if Shana's very nervous and she reacts, sometimes she'll get her protective brother, protectiveness out into the open. Good girl. Good girl. That's nice. Nice to Sally. Leave her. Leave her. Good girl.
Hiring and everything requires my signature on it. We have over 3,000 employees in the district, and my signature is either original signature or it's stamped. So that's why I said I should know about it. But I mean, there's obviously paperwork that's got my name on it that I couldn't recall any one individual losing their
See,
job.
I'm sitting forward, I'm sitting on the dog here because this was a situation that we always got a reaction before. Now, it sometimes gets a reaction. So I'm just putting Shana on notice so I'm aware of where her little thoughts might be going.
Blaming me for whatever he was mad about, and I didn't understand why he was blaming everybody
Because
else.
she knows she can boss Sally off. You know Sally's soft. Like, pudding soft.
Too much sometimes.
There was absolutely no protection for them whatsoever where this person was located. He had them completely at his mercy. Birds on a wire, shooting fish in a tank, whatever cliche you want to use, they were absolutely so vulnerable. It was absolutely terrifying.
Shelby, please. No. Nope. Please. Nah. Good Shana.
I knew I was going to get shot. Oh my God.
Leave her.
My husband and I have been out of town on vacation.
Sally,
At the beach for several days and decided actually to come home a couple of days early. It was a friend's birthday and we wanted to go to the birthday party that night. We had dinner, we danced, everybody was having a really good time. At about midnight, because we had been traveling, we had the whole week on vacation, was tired. My husband and I both decided two other men in the car, two men in the front seat, and they were lifting the seat up so that he could push me into the car, and I started fighting, with my feet to try to keep from being pushed into the car. He eventually got me in, pushed me into the floorboard, and the door slammed and the car drove off. I'm screaming at this point and saying, let me go, stop, don't, and really fighting with my feet because he had my arms pretty much down beside, pinned to my side. I just at that point was thinking, this is just not real, it's not happening. Until I got into the floorboard and the car started moving, that's probably the first time I really thought, this is bad. This is really, really bad. The driver and the passenger in the front seat seemed to be a little concerned about getting out of there, getting away from somebody seeing them. It became apparent to me very quickly that the man in the back seat was in charge, was issuing the orders, was telling the driver.
You can see why even these things is a good thing to do before or after a more physically taxing training session. So even though a dad's just sitting, that's physically taxing, just because for us, like if you were doing squats or something, I mean, they're much more physically able than we are in that regard, but it's tiring, it's mentally tiring. This is also mentally tiring, but less physically tiring.
Back and forth with the driver and the passenger.
And less mentally tiring, but still tiring.
Grabbed me by the arm, pulled me up on the seat. So I actually got to see him face to face. He told me to take my clothes off and started pulling on my clothes. I backed away from him as far as I could into the corner and was crouching and said no.
Shelby, by the way, is a pretty good girl.
He didn't give me just a few minutes before he started pulling on my clothes.
She's not bad.
At that moment, it dawned on me that this man was going to rape me. Overwhelming air freshener. To take my really pretty much at ease with what he started moving, drove off. As he lifted me up, he moved me. Immediately, there was a car that pulled into my line of sight, traveling very fast, stopped very fast. Man jumped out of the back seat of the car and started running towards me. And before I could even think or react, he ran past me and then made like a U-turn and grabbed me from behind. My initial reaction was that he was playing a joke or that he had the wrong person. As he lifted me up and moved me towards the car, there were two other men in the car, two men in the front seat, and they were lifting the seat up so that he could push me into the car, and I started fighting, with my feet to try to keep from being pushed into the car. He eventually got me in, pushed me into the floorboard, and the door slammed and the car drove off. I'm screaming at this point and saying, let me go, stop, don't, and really fighting with my feet because he had my arms pretty much down beside, pinned to my side. I just at that point was thinking, this is just not real, it's not happening. Until I got into the floorboard and the car started moving, that's probably the first time I really thought, this is bad. This is really, really bad. The driver and the passenger in the front seat seemed to be a little concerned about getting out of there, getting away from somebody seeing them. It became apparent to me very was in charge, was issuing orders, was telling the driver which way to go and to hurry, and he seemed to be a little older than the two in the front, and even really pretty much at ease with what he was doing. After we got on the interstate and traveled a little ways, there was some conversation back and forth with the driver and the passenger, and then the man in the back seat grabbed me by the arm, pulled me up on the seat. So I actually got to see him face to face. He told me to take my clothes off and started pulling on my clothes. I backed away from him as far as I could into the corner and was crouching and said no. That didn't last very long. He didn't give me just a few minutes before he started pulling on my clothes. At that moment, it dawned on me that this man was going to rape me.
Overwhelming air fresheners can send you running. So try Febreze One to gently clean away odors with no aerosols and no heavy perfumes, so you can spray and spray it up. Febreze One.
I'm very sorry.
And we're gonna get his phone out of you.
The important thing is that we make you better.
Okay, here's how to make butter. Pour in a third cup cold heavy cream.
Snickers satisfies.
Now full coverage flawless, that lasts.
There was no cavalry coming right away to save anybody's skin. There were no white horses on the lawn that were going to gallop up and help us out here. So it was basically, okay, I'm it. The only weapons I had at that point were my trusty purse and the element of surprise. I knew that whatever attempt I made in whatever fashion, it would be a one-time event.
Good girl, Shelby.
Whether it
Good
turned out
place.
well or not
Good
so well,
place.
it was a one-time opportunity. So at that moment it was, okay, rip, rattle, or tear, here I go. And so the only thing I could do was figure out I'm going to try to hit him with my purse.
As we're talking back and forth and trying to figure out what he's talking about, Ginger, one of our board members, comes back in.
You're what?
I don't know.
He just kind of swats her away like a fly, just knocks her down the ground. And he's over her, and I'm thinking, oh, he's going to shoot her.
What I recall then is I am sitting on the floor looking at this guy's knee and thinking, wow, plan A didn't work so well and I don't have a plan B. That may not be the best thing I ever did.
I've known this lady for 20 or 30 years, and she's getting ready to get shot right in front of me. And what do we need to do? What can we do?
He was
Good girl, Shelby.
amazingly quiet, speaking only to me.
I can see Shelby's telling the slightest little
Basically,
flicker
here you
when I say
sit.
good girl.
I probably.
She did well. She's not used to having Boris walking around.
I did get out of there and I took all of my stupidity
Oh,
with
Boris.
me.
When he
Now,
does
Boris
this,
is pretty forgiving.
wait a minute, maybe this guy's not as
Not
bad
totally
as he wants
forgiving,
us
but,
to think he is, and so it gives us a little
I know Shelby a little bit more, so I don't think she'll do anything that will be
maybe he just likes
unforgivable
women
as
and
far as
maybe
Boris is
is
concerned.
being a southern gentleman or something, so,
Yes.
you know, it gives us some hope that maybe he's not going to shoot us.
What? What? Huh?
I drew my weapon and I had it above my head, behind the door, as I opened the door, stuck my head in the door, and I
Boris, as you might notice, is pretty used to me walking around.
That time, I just wanted to
Strange
keep you guys
dogs.
on whether secondary weapons or secondary devices. Was there more than one gunman? What kind of a weapon did he have? Who all was in the room? Who all was actually a hostage? Kind of a reconnaissance type mission at that time.
Mike comes in, looks in, then just opens the door, doesn't come in, but Mike looks in, it's got a smile on his face. And that only comes when you carry a gun.
She's so good.
I asked him,
She's so
is that a
good.
real gun you got there? And he turned around and looked and said, come on in. Come on in. Come on in. And I just kind of smiled and I said, why don't you come on out? And he started walking towards me, which is what I wanted him to do. I wanted to lure him out of the room so that they could escape out the back door. And as he started walking towards me, I slowly closed the door and backed up into a shooting stance so when he come through the door we could engage. And
Girl, Shelby.
several seconds went by. He didn't come out the door. And so I knew he wasn't coming out. I had to go to plan B.
He grabbed me and just started, unbuttoning my clothes and pulling at my clothes. And I finally just did what he said. He raped me in the car on the way as we were driving. I could see the man in the front seat looking back at what was happening back there and watching this whole rape going on. And just, I can remember feeling so humiliated and so scared and so still disbelieving what was happening to me. And how could I have gone from one existence to
Shelby.
another existence
Is it a
within
little
what felt
girl?
like
See the
seconds?
little girl.
And all I could think of was, I was not going to make it out of this. We pulled off of a road onto like a gravel road, which appeared to be like a rural area. There were no lights, there were no city lights. We went up a hill and I saw lights from houses, a couple of houses in an area. Car stopped. They got my purse and started going through my purse, which was real personal to me at that point. I think I had like $30 in my purse. I said, take that and let me go call somebody and we'll get you some more and just let me go. And they just left. It was just kind of a funny thing. And they took my jewelry, they took my wedding rings, they took my watch and another ring that I had on and a necklace. And so they were like little by little taking everything from me. We sat there for a few minutes and then the passenger in the front seat came around and got me out of the back seat and walked me into the house. And I remember thinking, how ridiculous this I must look. I have on a pair of sandals and nothing else. As we walked in the door, I noticed living room and I started in my mind drawing a floor plan of the house. All the while I'm seeing all these other people and realizing that it's a party. I could smell marijuana, I could hear music playing, and as I was walked in the door, I could hear people talking about me. It was almost like they were excited that these men had gone out to get somebody. That was their intention. And these people were waiting on that person to be brought back. And that person was me.
I really want to focus on my career.
That's horrifying, huh, Shana? Good girl,
They
Shana.
have this morning. And they cost a lot
is a good feeling.
Ovarian cysts
You
can occur
deserve
usually
some
this
more.
week. Bleeding and spotting may
Good
increase after
girl.
6 months and remain around.
Fluid tends to calm Shane down.
Shorter, lighter, or restop.
Unlike a lot of dogs, I know it was a Shelby's training session, but just to show the difference,
To take the pill.
Shelby, the sting actually seems to calm her down. With Shana, it does somewhat now, but in the beginning she would load up and get more and more and more upset and aggressive. So it took a while to find a balance of things that would get her to calm down in a situation like this.
When I got migraine, I worked with this debilitating.
Back. But they were gonna get hit, those bullets were gonna come through the walls. I was trying to get everybody out of harm's way.
Our board meetings are streamed live throughout the building. So everyone in our educational building was watching in real time what was happening in that boardroom.
I said, look, I don't want you to kill me. I don't even know what you're talking about. Tell me what you're talking about. I don't want to get killed over something that I didn't know if he was making a mistake. I didn't know if he was mentally ill or what was going on with all this.
If you're gonna kill yourself or kill us or whatever, at least let us know what's going on, because I'll be very honest with you. I swear, I don't know who your wife is or what she did.
He didn't want to discuss it. He basically said we knew, or I knew what was going on, and it was wrong, and that we were going to pay for it, and that's where his mind was. There was a certain point when he pulled that gun